Hello, children. Welcome to the first ever story time. My name is Tankie, and I'm hoping everybody is happy and healthy at home. Today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Hippie. Hello, children. I'll be here to bring you a new adventure every couple of days, children. Today, the first adventure is Good Night, Sir Kermit by Michaela Muntean. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Good Night, Sir Kermit by Michaela Muntean. It was a summer evening, the kind when bedtime arrives before it is dark. I don't like having to go to bed while it's still light outside, Kermit said. We could be playing in the park. Try playing with your toes, Gonzo suggested. That always makes me sleepy. Sleep is a waste of time, Kermit decided. When I grow up, I'm going to stay up as late as I want and do all kinds of exciting things. I may never go to sleep. Then he reached out and took a big storybook from the nursery bookshelf. The storybook was filled with pictures of knights in shining armor, and fire-breathing dragons, and huge castles surrounded by moats. I bet the babies who lived back then had exciting lives, said Kermit. They probably stayed up all night fighting dragons and having fun. Kermit studied a picture of a gray stone castle. It must have been great to live in a place like this, he thought. You would never run out of rooms to explore. I wonder what was behind the castle. I wish I could see. Suddenly, Kermit was no longer looking at a picture. He was peeking around the corner of a real castle. A castle just like the one in his storybook. Now he could see that behind the castle was a beautiful garden. In the middle of the garden was a pond filled with lily pads. And on one of the lily pads, a frog, who was just about his own size, laying sleeping. That frog looks familiar, Kermit thought, and he jumped into the pond to have a better look. As Kermit neared the lily pad, the sleeping frog woke with a start. Who goes there? He asked. Then he saw Kermit and shrugged his shoulders. Never mind, he mumbled sleepily. I thought you were the dragon. You must have been dreaming, Kermit laughed. Dragons aren't real. They're only in storybooks. Of course they're real, the other frog answered. They're just as real as I am. And I am Sir Dancelot, Knight of the Pond Table. My name is Kermit, said Kermit. But I'm not a knight. I'm just a plain old frog. You're lucky, Sir Dancelot sighed. Because if you were me, you would have to fight the dragon today. Are you afraid? Kermit asked. No, I'm exhausted, Dancelot moaned. I stayed up all night dancing. Dancing is my favorite thing to do. But if I had been a good knight, I would have gotten a good night's sleep. Now I'm really in trouble. Sir Dancelot then told Kermit his sad tale. A fire-breathing dragon had charged into the nearby town, demanding to marry the lovely Princess Pigdolin. Dancelot was in love with Pigdolin and had challenged the dragon to a duel. Whoever could fight the longest would win the beautiful princess. Whoever got tired and stopped would lose. But I've had to sleep, wailed Dancelot. I can barely stand up, let alone fight. Kermit felt terribly sorry for the exhausted knight and wanted to help.
What if I fight the dragon for you?
He suggested.
I'm wide awake.
Oh, thank you, said Grateful Knight, shaking Kermit's hand.
My armor and horse are behind the rock. Be sure to wake me up when it's over, and good luck.
Kermit was so excited he could hardly put on the armor. He clinked and clanked around a bit, but he finally got it right and climbed on the horse. Then he headed towards the town. Kermit arrived to find a large crowd gathered to watch the duel. He rode closer until he had a good view of the dragon's huge golden eyes and glistening golden green scales. The dragon looked strong, as though he can fight for a long, long time.
Lancelot, my hero,
Princess Piglin was calling.
You must save me from this monster. He has been running around breathing fire and smoke all night, waiting for you. So the dragon has been up all night too, has he?
Murmured Kermit as he took his position in front of the huge monster.
That gives me an idea.
When the duel began, Kermit tried to remember every lullaby he had ever heard. He sang them to the dragon, one by one. He sang Rockabye Dragon. He sang Go to Sleep, Little Dragon, and Dream, Sweet Dragon, Dreams. Slowly, the dragon's eyes began to close. He sank to his knees, then stretched out on the ground. Soon he was asleep. Hip hooray! Long live Sir Lancelot! Cheered the crowd. They cheered softly so as not to wake the dragon.
My hero,
sighed Princess Piglin.
You have conquered the dragon, and now we can be married.
She leaned over to give Kermit a kiss.
Oh no,
thought Kermit.
This is going too far. Fighting dragons is one thing, but marrying a princess is another. I'd better get the real Sir Lancelot. Excuse me, your royal pigginess,
Kermit said with a bow.
I feel I've forgotten something very important. I will return shortly.
Kermit rode to the garden as quickly as he could. The real Frog Knight was waking up just as he arrived.
Hurry,
said Kermit as he took off the armor and handed it to Lancelot.
Put yourself in this tin suit. We've got to get you back so you can marry the princess.
As they galloped along, Kermit told Lancelot everything that happened.
And if I were really you,
Kermit said at the end of his story,
I would find something useful for that dragon to do when he wakes up.
The preparations for the wedding feast were well underway when the dragon finally awakened. He was very disappointed to find out that he had lost both the duel and the princess. Sigh, 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 breathed the dragon, and every time he sighed, a flame flickered out of his mouth.
Look!
exclaimed Princess Piglin in amazement.
He's roasting all the marshmallows with his fiery breath.
Kermit and Lancelot stared at the dragon and then at each other. They both had the same idea.
How would you like a job as royal chef?
Sir Lancelot asked the dragon. The dragon was delighted because he loved to cook. His first job, of course, was to finish the wedding feast. He stewed tomatoes for tomato soup, he grilled the grilled cheese sandwiches, and he melted chocolate for hot fudge sundaes a la dragon. Kermit had a wonderful time at the wedding, but after his busy day, he was finally beginning to feel sleepy. Lancelot thanked Kermit for everything he had done. Then he asked him to kneel, drawing his sword. Lancelot said,
For your bravery, an entire devotion. I now dub thee Sir Kermit, Knight of the Pond Table.
Kermit looked up, but he did not see Sir Dancelot. Instead, he saw Nanny, who was tucking him into his own little crib. "Good night, Kermit," she said.
Yes, Nanny,
Kermit murmured sleepily.
I guess I am a good knight. And like all good knights, I'm ready for a good night's sleep.
The end. And now that the children are sound asleep, I'd like to say good night. This is Tankie from Storytime. Good night, children.